Hello and welcome to another episode with Chat with Ty. And today I have another guest with me, Nathan McDougal. Nathan's from Washington State. I got to know Nathan from high school. He's one of my side bitches. And I've known him for the better half of my life, pretty much. I call him Nathan McDougal because when we were playing baseball, his arm is very flexible, like a noodle. So that's where he got the nickname. Do you want to tell us a little fun fact about yourself?
Well, my fun fact, Mr. Ty Life Fitness, is that I can name any of the four major sports champions all the way back until 1990. So
Let's test that. Who won the four major championships in 1999?
1999. All right. So we got the Yankees in baseball. We got the Spurs in basketball.
All right.
We've got the Dallas Stars in hockey. And then we've got the Broncos in football.
Broncos. Okay. Interesting. So today Nate is going to teach me a little bit about his life at the Naval Academy. So for college, Nathan decided to go to the Naval Academy. And from what I heard, it's a pretty interesting experience. A lot different from what I'm used to going to colleges in Arizona and Minnesota now. So I find it really interesting. And why don't you tell me a little bit more about how life is different and similar, and what's the most interesting thing that you've experienced at the Naval Academy?
Well, life at the Naval Academy is a lot different than normal college, for sure. You're not just signing up to go. It's free, but you pay in service 5 years of active duty service after your 4 years of college are done. And it's very different from a normal college experience. You have football games and tailgates and, school work and all this other stuff like a normal school. But there's a lot more rigorous, physical fitness. In addition, you're graded on almost every part of your life. And it's just a whole lot more, you're a whole lot more busy, I'd say. Almost every second of the day is you're going to be doing something. So they got us busy.
So I know, because we have time zone differences and stuff. Sometimes I will text you really early for me, and I would be it's 7 a.m. in the morning. I'll text you, and it's 9 a.m. for you on the East Coast, and you would be oh yeah, I've been up for 4 hours or something like that. So that's the furthest. That's the most information I know about your daily schedule, but I'm really interested in learning more about what's your day-to-day routine looking like when do you wake up, what do you do after you wake up, and what do you have to do throughout the day besides classes,
So I'll start with freshman year, because freshman year is probably the most rigorous. So freshman year, you're up about 5 a.m. You go off and you do a workout led by your training staff, which is a bunch of upperclassmen who have taken on the job of basically whipping us into shape. So we work out for about an hour and a half. We come back, shower, we go eat breakfast. We have morning quarters formation, and school starts 7:55. So we get into class. We have classes, throughout the morning. We have lunch at noon. So we all come back. We have another formation, and then we go to lunch. And then we have classes until 3. And after that is sports period. So everybody at the academy has to do some sort of sport, whether it be varsity, D1, club, non-club, or intramurals. And then we get dinner, and then the rest of the night is usually homework, that kind of stuff. As a freshman, you can only leave campus on Saturday nights, so the rest of your days you're working really hard. You're up from 5 until whenever you're done with your homework. So it's a long day.
I found it really interesting that you talked about formations. What kind of formations are you talking about?
It's just to make sure everybody's there and alive, or not skipping out or leaving.
So kind of like a roll call kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. You know, accountability is taken at the squad level, and then it's passed all the way up through the company level. So just making sure everybody's there, and it's a good time to check in and see your people.
All right, that's interesting. So another thing that I found pretty interesting that you just said was that everyone is kind of forced in some way to play a sport.
Hmm.
I know you chose ultimate. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. How does that work?
So every single member of the academy has to take a physical fitness test each semester, unless you're injured. And every single midshipman at the academy has to play some sort of sport. So almost, I'd say, a good 40% of midshipmen are varsity D1 athletes who, some are recruited, some are not. But a lot of people are, rowing, football, basketball, baseball, volleyball, all these different stuff. Most sports you'd see at a normal college, we have at the academy and play. And then everybody else is playing some sort of, so for example, I played Ultimate Frisbee, which is hopefully going to be a club sport next semester, but we have to pay like out of our own pocket for a lot of our stuff. But, that's a 2-hour practice or so every day, and that's how we get our workouts in. But even if you're not, on a club team, then you have to do intramurals, which is you work out or you play flag football or basketball and that kind of stuff with your company mates. So everybody's doing some sort of workout every day.
That's interesting. So I remember, well, you talked about the physical fitness test that you have to take every single year. I remember the first summer that you got back, we talked about that. We were thinking about making a video for that, like a fitness challenge video. And one of the things that stopped me from doing that was the mention of a 6-mile run, or was it like 1.6 miles or something like that?
It's a mile and a half. 10:30 is the minimum time for males. So you just got to run a mile and a half in 10 minutes, 30 seconds.
That's fun. Do you mind breaking down the physical fitness test and describing what it is like, what it entails, and what's the qualification for passing?
Yeah, so when I first came in, the physical fitness test was a little different. It was crunches or sit-ups, as many as you can do in 2 minutes, and then as many push-ups as you can do in 2 minutes, and then a mile and a half run. So that led to a lot of, cheating. People were doing the head bob push-ups, not doing, an actual workout, just, a lot of cheating and miscounting. So they changed it around. Now it's a 4-minute and 20-second plank. As 60 cadence push-ups is the maximum for males in 2 minutes. 35 is the minimum. So they will sound off. It's a down, up, and you're holding there for a second or two, and then you push up, and then same mile and a half run. So some things have changed, but I think that's for the better, to be honest with you. It's it keeps you in good shape. You got to train for it, but the majority of people at the academy can do pretty well on it. So
how did you do on your last time?
I didn't do max the plank. Push-ups was fine. I didn't run as fast as I should have. I think I ran like a 9:46, 45. So I wanna run faster than that. I ran an 8:45 freshman year.
Was that the reason why you were getting burned by me when we were playing football?
I'd like to set the record straight for the podcast that I was in Crocs and even bare feet, and I was absolutely torching this man. So
no, I couldn't make the catch because they always underthrow it. Remember?
Gig Harbor, Semel Park. I think I might have been the MVP.
When we were at stadium, they were underthrowing it.
Hayden was underthrowing it. Lenny was underthrowing it. I got you.
Yeah, I was a couple steps ahead of you. They underthrow it.
Hey, you know what? We'll have to, next time we see each other, we'll have to do some. It's on site, one-on-ones. It's on site.
All right.
We'll figure it out.
I'll take that bet.
Ha.
All right. So another thing that I found really interesting that you're telling me about is the summer guard duty or just guard duty in general. Can you tell me a little bit more about how that works?
There's something called summer trainings. Our summer break is not like it's much different from a normal school. Instead of 3 months off to do whatever we want, we have our summer divided up into 3 blocks, and then there's a lot of different things we can do during each summer. So you're out with the fleet or the Marines for 1 block, internships, summer seminar, plebe summer detail, that kind of stuff. And then a lot of people choose to go home for a month for their third option. Summer school is another thing. Sailing, YPs, all this different stuff. So there's a lot of stuff going on, but I wouldn't call it summer guard duty. It's not really summer training is our term for it, I guess.
So I remember a couple years back, you told me that you're going on a submarine for a summer mission or whatever the training thing is. Can you tell me a little bit more about that, or is that confidential?
I can tell you a little bit about that. Yeah, last year during summer, that was all of our summer stuff was canceled in 2020 because of COVID. But last year we got back at it. I went down to San Diego. I spent a week or two on the USS Scranton. It was a good time. Got to see what that platform is like, what missions are like. So learned a lot. Had a good time in San Diego. But that's about all I can really. That's about all I can really say, to be honest with you. So.
How did it feel to be on the submarine for like 2 weeks or something like that?
So as riders or people not members of the crew, we didn't have designated things to do. We sort of hung out with the crew, watched what they were doing. But by the end of the training, it was getting a little repetitive. We were running out of things to do. They do have an insane collection of movies and music videos downloaded on the sub, so
Really?
I guess I wouldn't have run out of things to watch. But yeah, I'm not claustrophobic, but I'm only like 6'3", and I barely fit in that bed. So it might have been a problem for somebody taller, but yeah.
Yeah, I do remember talking to Henry, talking to Lenny about this. He's like 6'5", 6'6", and he's like he has to have like a special bed made for him at the college dorms and stuff because his feet will be like hanging off the regular mattresses. So definitely, one of the questions that I had that I think he sort of answered in some way was do you get like internet connection? Do you get like channels and like stuff on the submarine?
No, that would sort of defeat the purpose of a submarine being a stealth platform, and you're underwater. So yeah, no internet, no whatever. The best communication you have with people back home or the outside world is emails. Submarine has pretty good antenna technology to receive that kind of stuff. Very low bandwidth, but yeah, no no internet.
Okay, that's interesting. At least there's a abundant amount of movies and stuff that'll keep you entertained for a little bit.
All downloaded, but if you're actually working on the sub, then you're gonna be busy.
So does it? I know in like airplanes and stuff, and sometimes in water because of buoyancy and stuff, like you can experience weightless. Do you guys ever like try that, or is the gravitational force always like balancing the sub?
Yeah, no. I mean, we did something called angles and dangles, which is a test of the sub's maneuverability and all that stuff. But yeah, no G forces in a platform as big as a submarine. So, I mean, you can be rolling around in your bed if you're sleeping, but like a ship on the surface in waves, subs can, if you're close to the surface, subs can get hit by storms too, but not no feelings of weightlessness or gravity is pretty normal.
Okay, that's interesting. Is it always like super dark outside? Because
No
there's
windows in a submarine.
no windows in submarines.
No,
Okay.
no windows. That would sort of defeat the purpose as well.
I guess whatever the movie, the Journey to the Center of, no, the what's the marine movie, the submarine book.
10,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Yeah, that book like described there's windows on submarines and stuff.
So on commercial submarines, I'm sure there are windows, but
Yeah,
no need for windows on a military platform.
I guess that makes sense. So when someone asks you about how life is at the Naval Academy, how would you describe it in like one sentence?
Once you get past freshman year, life's pretty good. You can't really complain about free college and free food. So once you get past the rigors of freshman year, everything sort of straightens itself out.
Okay. Thank you, Nathan, for coming on today and teaching me a little bit about the life at the Naval Academy. Well, thanks you guys for listening, and I'll see you guys next time on Chat with Ty.